I did have other intentions just now, because I just barely filmed my first ever Resonite video, and then my first video of like the new year, and there's still more things on the way. But I was so happy with this framing, and I just wasn't done making videos. So if you would allow me, I kind of just want to tell you some of the story of what it was like with my first day in Resonite, which I have had some on and off a little bit, but Resonite is still a big challenge to me, and being in is just really stressful for a lot of reasons that I've started to uncover, and I'm learning more, and I'm so excited to tell you more. What I can say, while all of the rest is still cooking a little bit though, is that because Resonite handles in a really specific way and it tickles a part of me that VR doesn't normally access, it feels a lot more personal. So So if I would want to chronicle, and I do want to chronicle my experience in learning something new, like Resonite Zero to Hero, I can figure out how to do some of these things and how the controls work in the quest, and then make videos about that sort of stuff. So you guys know about Resonite too, as I myself am learning about Resonite, and then I'm practicing making videos the whole time, and that sounds like a really cool thing to watch as someone grows in one particular program. And that could be like, I'm going to learn to draw every day for 60 days or something like that, and you make notes of your progress. So for me, making video logs just about how Resonite's going inside of Resonite sounds like a really cool video project to me, and I am going to be doing that thing. That's something that I'm doing that just sounds like a blast, so that's happening. The interesting thing, though, is when my own personal journey also happens to grow alongside my Resonite journey. A few days ago, I started having my first ever actual social moments in VR, I think, or inside of Resonite. I think my first ever real conversation was just like a guy that I met as it was either a man who was a robot or it was a nice gentleman who had a fish for a head, like a fish tank, and there was a fish inside, and he had arms and legs. And they were some of the very first people that I have ever met inside of Resonite. But because it's such an interactive space, in ways I'll talk on, it felt much more like meeting, two gentlemen, and whether they're playing with code and flying up on the ceiling and doing really bizarre, specific things that they all decided to do because of how powerful Resonite is. So they were all expressing themselves in really genuine ways, as I myself was just more absorbed in VR than ever before. I have thoughts about it, but what brings me here now, I think, is the really kind of cool position it puts me in as a creator who seeks to use Resonite, just in a slightly different way than what all of the other creator boys and girls are doing, where they're making like super cool weapons and their arm turns into a cannon. Or I think some guy just decided to make a little coaster that you could spawn glasses. They would be like little, like for New Year's Eve, we had fun little glasses, and someone made a device that's like, hey, do you want a glass? Here you go. And I was like, this is magic to me right now. And physically being able to do that stuff in Resonite, I just want to catalog that journey like I was talking about earlier. But that genuine moment where I was meeting the man with the fish head and the robot, and then there's a guy who's kind of squiggly pixels and he's got an eye, and he's really nice. And everyone I've met has been so super duper cool right now, including the man who was Toast with CJ on the name. Yeah, like I've only ever met awesome, super cool people in Resonite, and meeting people and socializing and finding my place within groups of people is still something that's surprisingly challenging to me. And Resonite is inherently social, so I came here wanting to chronicle my journey physically through how a program operates, the way that I might learn how to be artistic using Photoshop. So I could make Resonite, how's Resonite doing? How am I learning this physical application? But because it's so social, I'm accidentally also chronicling my social growth as I grow with Resonite, because it's growing me in multiple ways that I didn't anticipate when I started seeing all of the ideas that are possible for programming Resonite physically, virtually, but all the social capabilities as well. So I'm uncovering what it's like being social in VR, and I'm going to start, like, I'm examining a whole bunch with my time in Resonite, and I've been looking forward to my time in Resonite more so than my typical, oh, I'm going to go and, like, if I'm ever in VR chat, it's just like I'm just going to go film something. But this was like a whole kit and caboodle. I was really excited to get into VR and film something, but also to get into Resonite and get a little better with that and more practiced with it. So we're batting 1,000 over here. Super happy with this one. Very simple, very plain, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go and do some things, and then you're gonna stay there and do some things. What? This is so great. Okay.